Okay, we are going to finish up this video on stimulants. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I need to find where we are. It's not the one I wanted. Okay, I found it. So we're going to try to finish up the stimulants video. So what are some other effects of stimulants? In terms of sexual performance, usually they would increase the desire, but they aren't so great for the performance. So heavy use of cocaine or amphetamine or methamphetamine can actually cause impotence. Cognition, there have been some studies that show that heavy users of methamphetamine especially seem to perform worse than non-users on cognitive tasks such as verbal memory. So all kinds of things are affected: attention, concentration, reaction time. And of course, the problem with these studies is you don't know if some of these differences were already apparent at first, and maybe they cause people to be more likely to use these drugs, or if this is a result of the drugs. It's just not really clear. Okay, what are some dangerous interactions between stimulants and other drugs? Anything else that's going to increase the heart rate is a bad idea to use with stimulants. So even decongestants, various cold remedies, antidepressants, especially those that inhibit monoamine oxidase because they increase the amount of the monoamines, which is what stimulants increase too. Any kind of medicine for the heart, stimulants are going to kind of mess up how that works. And anything that makes a person more sensitive to seizures. So high levels of caffeine, the drug Buspar, those mixed with stimulant drugs will make a person more likely to have a seizure. What about pregnancy? You know, we've talked about it's really tough to get a clear picture of what exactly drugs cause if they're used during pregnancy, because so many people who are willing to use drugs during pregnancy are willing to use more than one. So it's hard to just say which effects are due to cocaine, for instance. But they have found that women that use especially cocaine during pregnancy do have an increased risk of miscarriage. They're more likely to have a premature baby. The birth weight is decreased. The head circumference is smaller. And what happens is cocaine constricts those blood vessels that supply all the good stuff that the babies need. So they're getting less of this. There are some studies that would indicate there's a higher instance of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and learning disabilities later in life. But again, it's hard to know if this is attributable to the cocaine or, you know, if maybe there's some polydrug use going on there. Dr. Allen's baby that she adopted, her mother used cocaine during pregnancy, and she has something called short gut syndrome, and she was born very premature. Okay, treatments. What do people do if they are addicted to amphetamine, methamphetamine, or cocaine? I have mentioned naltrexone. That is a long-acting opiate antagonist. For some people, this helps to decrease their cravings. Antidepressant drugs seem to be helpful because they're going to increase the monoamine levels, but they don't cause euphoria. They don't lead to addiction. Buprenorphine, this is an opiate agonist, and this seems to be helpful with the cravings again. And really behavioral therapies are very helpful here. So learning how to be in a situation where maybe you used drugs before and learning how to be in that situation and not use. Getting to a point where seeing the things in the environment that would normally be associated with drug use, where you can see those things and not use the drug. So like a pipe or a spoon or something like that. Generally, the cravings are pretty bad with stimulant drugs. If you can get through those, then, you know, there seems to be some success. But the hard part is just stopping that craving for the drug. Here's just some general information. So Ritalin is methylphenidate, and it lasts about 4 hours in the system. Adderall, another ADHD drug, is pretty much the same thing as amphetamine, and the duration of action there is somewhere between 4 and 6 hours. Methamphetamine is really interesting because it can last for a really long time. It kind of depends on how it's been made, but some sources say it lasts about 6 hours. Other sources say it can last as long as a whole day, 24 hours. But the point is, methamphetamine lasts a lot longer than the other stimulants that we've talked about, which could contribute to why it's so addictive. This is a clip from Requiem for a Dream, and it shows the mother. She gets addicted to amphetamines. She uses them as diet pills, and it just kind of shows how active she is on these drugs and some of the problems associated with them, like she grinds her teeth. So do take a look at that. I guess, I don't know if you can pause this and then just go back to the PowerPoint that I posted on Moodle and just click the link there. Requiem for a Dream is a really good movie, but it's really hard to watch. Okay, health problems associated with methamphetamine. There are cardiovascular problems associated, which you would expect because the stimulants increase the heartbeats, increase the work that the heart does, and so on. Some people say there's premature aging. So people who smoke for years, they definitely look older quicker. It has to do with how it kind of thins the skin. With methamphetamine, it's not really clear why exactly, but methamphetamine is really hard on the teeth. It leads to a lot of problems in the mouth and problems with the teeth rotting, basically. And then there's those sores I told you about, the formication, where you feel like there's bugs underneath your skin and you're scratching at your skin trying to get at those. This clip is a little dramatic. It has some dramatic music playing. And it shows you people who have been on methamphetamine for a while and gotten arrested from it. So like it might show their first arrest and then an arrest a few years later. And there are some pretty dramatic changes in these people over time. So take a look at that when you can. All right, bath salts. The text mentioned this quite a bit. So this is just kind of an alphabet soup of different drugs that have been synthesized that have stimulant effects. The thing about these is there are so many of them, and some of them are really dangerous and can cause a heart attack. I would really say to just avoid them because you just don't know what you're getting. They enter the brain quickly because they're lipophilic. They dissolve in they're lipid soluble, excuse me. Let's see. One of these is MDPV, 3,4-methylene dioxymethcathinone, which is a cathinone derivative. But yeah, these things seem to be pretty dangerous because you just don't know what drug you're getting. You don't know what the effects are going to be. And sometimes people take much higher doses than they should because they're just unclear on what dosage to take. So again, I would steer clear of these. All right, so that is the end of the stimulants chapter. Do please let me know if you have any questions or if you're unclear on whether I was talking about cocaine or amphetamine or methamphetamine. All right, that's it. Have a good day.